We've been chatting to women and managers about having a conversation about menopause in the workplace. In this video, I share some of the questions and the answers from those that we interviewed and why it's time to talk about menopause together in the workplace. Having a conversation about menopause can be uncomfortable, whether you're a colleague or a manager. And so for the most part, uncomfortable conversations don't happen. By not having conversations about menopause, it becomes even more uncomfortable and more of a topic that's ignored. So we thought we'd find out more about what employees and managers think and feel about having a conversation about menopause with each other, and what both parties wanted and needed to know to encourage these conversations to happen. What if we could make conversations easier between colleagues and managers? Rather than avoiding and squirming around the topic, it could be normalised and openly talked about. Imagine the benefits. You'd be able to bring people together to improve understanding, to talk more about it, create a better environment for all, to remove the worry and anxiety of having difficult conversations. You create increased empathy. So what did those that we interviewed tell us? Here's just some of the responses from female colleagues in the workplace. One of the questions we asked was, how would you feel having a conversation with your manager about your menopause symptoms and how they were affecting your performance? Some of the answers we received. If I felt my job was being negatively impacted, I'd approach him or her with my concerns. And for one colleague, she felt okay as her manager is open and approachable. If I had a good relationship with my manager and the manager was trained, informed and aware of menopause, I'd feel better about having it. And for one interviewee, the thought of this is scary because I don't want to be seen as too old for the job or that this is simply women's problems. We asked, how would you prefer to feel having a conversation with your manager? And the response that really stuck out for us was this: reassured and respected. How would you like your manager to respond during a conversation about your menopause symptoms and how they are affecting your performance? To show empathy and to ask how she could help me. I would want my manager to be open and honest and discuss how they believe menopause is affecting my performance. To discuss how we can put some actions in place to support me. I'd want that person to be understanding, approachable, and open to discussion, as well as being a good listener. Being supportive and offering help would be welcomed with open arms. I would like to feel safe and trusted, and for it to be recognised that the effects of menopause are real, in a respectful and collaborative way that's not patronising. Understand menopause isn't just about physical effects, but also comes with emotional effects. What support would you like from your manager during your menopause? I'd like her to be supportive and discuss how we could move forward and set actions. Discuss different solutions to help me. I would want conversations and to be approachable with issues that may rise due to my menopause. I would like trust, respect, and to feel safe and unjudged. What do you think your manager needs to know to have a conversation about menopause with you? They need to understand the symptoms, the impact on the person, like their mood, and to be aware of proper protocol for approaching a person who may or may not be going through menopause. I think she needs to understand the different symptoms and how menopause can affect women differently. I think she would need to read up on menopause and look at ways that she can support me. Describe how you would like to be helped and supported during your menopause if your symptoms affected your performance. I would want it to be acknowledged, discussed, before any type of corrective action is recommended. I would firstly like to be listened to and have the confidence to discuss how I'm feeling and how I believe the menopause is affecting my performance. I want to feel like my manager is interested in me and not be dismissed by reading a policy or procedure created by HR. It needs to be about communicating, sharing resources and setting expectations so the worker and manager are on the same page. I would then like to come to an agreement around my workload and if I need any additional help to ensure I achieve my objectives. I also want time to compose myself or have the opportunity to seek medical advice if necessary. Here's some of the responses from the questions we asked to managers in the workplace. How would you feel having a conversation with your colleague about their menopause symptoms and how they were affecting their performance? I would feel fine, as I understand the symptoms are real and can affect performance. I would need to complete some further research to fully understand the process of menopause though, and the impact it can have. I would want my colleague to be open and honest and discuss how they believe their menopause is affecting performance, and discuss how we can put actions into place to support them. What do you need to know to have a conversation about menopause with your colleague? I would need to know some of the impact menopause has on women, have a more in-depth knowledge of what menopause is, and to be able to offer support and have some understanding. What do you want to know so you can have a conversation about menopause with your colleague? The different symptoms, what a colleague can do to support themselves, what support I can offer, and speak to HR to see what support we can offer from an organisational perspective. So when it comes to data and demographics about the menopause, what are some of the key facts employers, organisations and managers need to know about menopause? It's a natural and unavoidable phase in every woman's life and usually occurs between the age of 45 and 55. Now, menopause can happen earlier, either naturally or because of a medical condition or a medically related surgery. It's also good to know that transgender and non-binary people can also be affected. Almost 8 out of 10 of menopausal women are in work right now. And menopausal women are the fastest demographic in the workforce. So what are some of the ways not being prepared for menopause can impact the workplace? 76% said their symptoms were moderately or extremely problematic at work. 20% said they had considered leaving work altogether, and this increased to 44% for those whose symptoms were extremely problematic at work. So some more useful information about the impact of the menopause in the workplace. The cost of replacing leavers affected by menopause symptoms can cost around £30,000 per person. There's also the impact that the time it's going to take to recruit new members of staff. There's a strain on the organisation because of the time it takes to train new members of staff. There's also the frustration on your current team members, especially those that are taking on extra workload to cover the vacancy created by the person that's left because of the menopause symptoms. The menopause can cost businesses and organisations a lot of money. And in the UK, absence-related costs to the menopause are running at £7.3 million per year. Lost productivity costs are currently costing 14 million working days. So imagine the benefits of being able to come together in the workplace to talk about menopause. Colleagues and managers feel that they can bring up the subject with each other, know they're working for an organisation that understands menopause and supports colleagues. Taking a topic that may feel uncomfortable right now and normalising it. Let me help you have comfortable conversations about menopause without the worry of saying or doing the wrong thing. Remember to subscribe and click for notifications of my new videos and to click the like button too. If you found this video useful and helpful, please share it and tell others about it too.